Okay, so what we're now going to do is we're going to modify the countdown application that we created a couple of videos ago, and we're going to modify this to actually allow for a callback, which we've just learnt in the previous video. So at the moment, the countdown application in the browser looks something like this. We count down from a specific number to a specific number, and then we have a finished output here. So when I refresh the page again, you'll see that this will just count down to 1, and then when it's finished, it will say finished. What we want to do is enhance the flexibility of this application to allow us to be able to pass a callback when we call the countdown method, and this will just allow us to output whatever we want or do whatever we want when the countdown reaches 0. So let's take a look at how we want the code to look first of all within our actual countdown, and then we'll look at actually implementing the code within app.js. So all I want to do is, after the settings that I provide, I don't want to do this within the settings, I want to do this after the settings I provide. I want to be able to pass a closure and then say console log finished. So I want to count down from 3 to 1 and then say finished. In actual fact, let's change this. The countdown has finished. Okay, so within app.js at the moment, let's take a look at where this is happening. It's happening down here when we get to the end of the counter. So we don't actually want to do a console log finished. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that functionality. And in here, instead, we want to go ahead and call the callback that we've passed to this function when we hit the countdown end. So as it stands at the moment, just removing that console log, it gets to 1, gets to 0, and then does absolutely nothing. So we've implemented the anonymous function, or the closure that we want. Let's go ahead and add it to the property or the parameter list up here, that we want. Well, we'll just call it callback, but yeah, this is the callback that we want to run. So if we go all the way down here, we don't need a callback, remember, so there's no real need to add any more if statements to check if this callback is defined or not up here, but we do need to do it down here, because if the callback is defined, we want to go ahead and call it. If it's not defined, we don't need to, there's no real point. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add an if statement here, and I'm going to say if callback doesn't equal undefined, callback. And that's all we need to do. That's it. That's all we need to do. It's as simple as allowing it to be provided as a parameter within the method, and then checking if the callback isn't undefined, and then actually calling the method or the function. Sorry. So this function will then be called. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. So 3, 2, 1, and then our custom closure or anonymous function that we provided to the method has now been called. And that's how we modify our countdown application to work with a callback function.